Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Suyok, also known as the Fun Indian Guy. I'm a service designer, filmmaker, and musician. This is like a makeshift thing which I have. This is a symbol, it's a splash, and this is a cajon I'm sitting on. I'm just keeping them. It's from my drum kit which I used to play 6-7 years ago. I'm just taking it down from loft and placing it while working. I just go around and play things, or just when I get frustrated or when I'm too excited, I just splash it out. But that's not the point of this video. Welcome to the video. In today's video, I'm going to share with you one of the very exciting things which happened to me recently. And there are two important things which I learned through it, which I would love to share with you. It's about taking the ideas, making them real, or building a project, a creative project or innovation project, could be anything. But these two very juicy and delicious insights which I got, I'm here to share it with you. But before we reach that, we need a bit of a context to that. So that's why I'll update you with whatever has happened recently, and I'm very excited to share this with you. So I have this habit of documenting ideas whenever I get them. So I get a lot of ideas while reading something, while watching something online, while watching some documentaries, or while working on some other project. I keep getting different ideas, and my habit, or one thing I've always liked to do, is to record them down. So I could just sketch it on a post-it and put it on the wall, or I just write it down in my journal, or I just make a note in a note-taking app like Google Keep on my phone. This practice I've been following for a while, and this is a very interesting practice. You will understand why. But this is how I document ideas, and I feel it's very important. So cut to 29th of April 2020. I was writing down one of such ideas. I got inspired from something, and I just wrote down on my phone a design show for Netflix. And the idea was like, at some point I would love to do a design show with some episodes of talking to some interesting people and doing some innovation stuff and making a show for an OTT platform like Netflix. And that wasn't the highlight of my day. As I said, it's my habit. I just write down and move on. Nothing's great about it. But documenting the idea itself, I feel, is very important. So I did it, moved on. Cut to 3-4 days afterwards, I got an email from my professor Valentina Oricchio. If you haven't seen our discussion, link here. She is one of my most favorite professors from Politecnico di Milano. We have talked about her design journey in this podcast, so make sure if you watch it, it's very interesting. So I got an email with the subject line saying Salone ? So for the people who don't know what is Salone del Mobile is basically Milan Design Week. It's one of the biggest events which happens in Italy. Millions of people come down to Milan. There are a lot of exhibitions, there are a lot of big fairs, a lot of different talks, conferences, a lot of parties around design. So many people come to see it. Many people around the world come to exhibit their own work as well. So it's a very interesting event, and as the whole global situation is arising, this thing is not happening this year. So Fuori Salone, which is official online guide for Design Week, now also one of the companies who does a lot of communication around design during the Design Week, decided to create one on-demand platform for a week as a digital design experience in June. So they are going to have a platform just like Netflix, but specifically for design content, and it will also have a live stream of different events. And the email was about that, and my professor was asking me if I like to make a design talk show on that platform. And I got really excited after reading that email. I replied quickly. I checked the email once again because I tend to do mistakes in my email if I don't check them out of excitement. And I shot back the email saying, yes, I'm interested. And there was this fun coincidence, right? Because I was thinking about making a design show for OTT platform like 3-4 days before. And then I got an opportunity to really make it possible. Then we started this whole thing of creating the design show. Special thanks to Valentina, also Studio Labo, the company which runs Fuori Salone. And then in next 3 weeks, it was so crazy because actual creating the show was 80% of project management, because I was talking to guests from all around the world, from Africa to Japan to New York to Europe to India. Throughout the globe, we were talking to different people, setting up appointments, setting up calls, so I can discuss with them what I'm willing to do, and then getting the material from them, making questions, doing the interviews. Was super duper crazy, the administration part, and then also actual execution. So in those 3 weeks, sitting here in Dapoli, which is like a small town in India, I was able to do that. The whole journey was super exciting. So after the 3 weeks of back and forth calls, getting the footages, and then sitting for post-production by myself and doing the whole edit, making like a communication for the show itself, the whole thing went down amazing. I learned a lot. I pushed my boundaries because I kind of had to do this whole journey by myself, apart from screening guests because I got help from the professor and the company, but from emailing the guests till delivering the show, there were a lot of steps involved, like very minute steps as well. So it was very interesting and fulfilling by the end of the time when I just delivered the whole project. So we created this design show. The name of the show is Trip of Design. For the people who follow me on Instagram, they already know it because I've talked a lot about the show on Instagram. So the name of the show is Trip of Design. So the show will have 6 episodes and we will be discussing amazing things with these amazing designers throughout the globe. So very excited to also drop that show. The show will be available from 15th to 21st of June on fuorisalone.tv. The links are down below. That's the OTT platform. It will be also part of the live streaming. I think on Thursday they will showcase my show for 50 minutes, and after that week the whole show will drop on our YouTube channel. So one by one I'll drop all the episodes. So also excited for that. So if you can't make it to fuorisalone.tv, you will be able to see it on my YouTube. So that show is done. So this is basically the context of the whole journey, like from getting an idea, then getting the opportunity to do it, and then making it real. So first thing which I would like to share with you is that, was it because I wrote it down it happened to me? Is it part of that philosophy or that ideology where you say you put it out there in the universe and then things happen to you, keep writing them, like The Secret or something like that? If you ask me that, let's say, I wouldn't be able to answer this because I don't know, because I don't really 100% believe in that kind of a situation. But one thing I would like to share with you, as I said in the beginning of this video, that I have habit of writing down ideas. And because of that, because of practicing that for so long, I have this whole library of idea sitting in my laptop, on my phone, on this wall here, in my journals, and ideas are there. So when an opportunity comes to you, you just have to match the dots. So when the OTT design show appeared on the horizon, I had something already thought about to connect that. So I wouldn't say because I wrote it, this thing happened, but I would like to tell you that if you just document all these amazing ideas you also get all the time, when the opportunity comes, you will have something to connect it to. Of course, that small note was not sufficient to think about this whole show, but I had that thought process a bit done when I was thinking about it. So this whole concept of having idea library is very, very important, I feel. And the second thing I wanted to tell you is basically, as I said in my previous video, we have to keep building things without thinking about what will happen. We just have to build, and then something beautiful will happen. And this whole experience is also an example of that. 3 years ago, I just randomly started making YouTube videos. I kept making them. Then I started a podcast, started inviting guests. Then I also invited Valentina. We talked about different things. Then I did also satellite podcast because of this quarantine situation. So I set up this remotely doing podcast kind of a system. And throughout this journey, I kept building this project. And I was not doing it so that I can make a show in future. I was not doing because I would like to make something for Netflix or something like that. I was just making it because I really like to do it, and by this I was just building my portfolio or my skill set or my capabilities, and I was also showcasing it. So when something popped up, for example in this case, Valentina came to know about this whole design show thing, she thought about me because she saw me building this thing, so she must have thought that I would be able to make a design show. So I think this is the second point, that you keep building things, you keep growing, and you keep showcasing it. So when something arises in front of somebody and they want somebody to do it, they know that, oh, this guy or this girl has done a lot of things in that domain and I think she could handle it. And that's how you kind of connect all those things and connect those dots and get different experiences to explore. So basically those were the 2 things I wanted to share with you. One thing was create the idea library, because you never know what will be helpful or useful at one point. And the second one was basically keep building things, because building and then getting better and then getting visibility is always good to open different opportunities, because then you're visible, your potential is seen, and then people can refer to you or come to you if they need something from you. So those are 2 ideas, and by sharing them with you, I think some of you or someone of you could totally benefit from it. So that's all from this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for staying till the end, and I will catch you in the next one. So don't forget to also watch fuorisalone.tv during this coming week, 15th to 21st, and see Trip of Design, the show by the Fun Indian Guy. And let me know, how do you feel? Let me know what do you think about the show. It's not a long episodic show. It's gonna be like 15-minute or 10-minute episodes. So do let me know what you feel. You can directly reach me on Instagram, because I tend to reply there much faster in the inbox. And I'll catch you in the next one. Till that time, don't forget to have fun, because having fun is not an option. And while you have fun, keep building things. Ciao.